वस्सलातु वस्सलाम रसूलल करीम अम्मा बाद आउज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam and in humanity, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, mercy and blessing of Allah be upon you. Today my topic is, under Islamic law, why is a woman's share of the inherited wealth only half that of a man? The glorious Quran contains specific and detailed guidance regarding the division of the inherited wealth among the rightful beneficiaries. The Quranic verses that contain guidance regarding inheritance are Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 180, Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 240, Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 7 to 9, Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 19, Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 33, and Surah Maida chapter 5 verse 106 to 108. There are three verses in the Quran that broadly describe the share of close relatives, i.e. Surah Nisa chapter 4 verses 11, 12 and 176. The translation of these verses are as follows. Allah thus directs you as regards your children's inheritance, to the male a portion equal to that of two females. If only daughters, two or more, their share is 2/3 of the inheritance. If only one, her share is a half. For parents, a sixth share of the inheritance to each, if the deceased left children. If no children and the parents are the only heir, the mother has a third. If the deceased left brothers or sisters, the mother has a sixth. The distribution in all cases is after the payment of legacies and debts. You know not whether your parents or your children are nearest to you in benefit. These are settled portions ordained by Allah, and Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. In what your wife leaves, your share is half. If they leave no child, but if they leave a child, you get a fourth, after payment of legacies and debts. In what you leave, their share is a fourth. If you leave no child, but if you leave a child, they get an eighth, after payment of legacies and debts. If the man or woman whose inheritance is in question has left neither ascendants nor descendants, but has left a brother or a sister, each one of the two gets a sixth. But if more than two, they share in a third, after payment of legacies and debts, so that no loss is caused to anyone. Thus, it is ordained by Allah, and Allah is all-knowing, most forbearing. Al-Quran 4 verse 11 to 12. They ask you for a legal decision. Say, Allah directs them above those who leave no descendants or ascendants as heir. If it is a man that dies, leaving a sister, but no child, she shall have half the inheritance. If such a deceit was a woman who left no child, her brother takes her inheritance. If there are two sisters, they shall have 2/3 of the inheritance between them. If there are brothers and sisters, they share, the male having twice the share of the female. Thus does Allah makes clear to you His knowledge of all things. Al-Quran 4 verse 176. In most of the cases, a woman inherits half of what her male counterpart inherits. However, this is not always the case. In case the deceased has left no ascendant or descendant, but has left the uterine brother and sister, each of the two inherit 1/6. If the deceased has left children, both the parents, that is mother and father, get an equal share and inherit 1/6 each. In certain cases, a woman can also inherit a share that is double that of the male. If the deceased is a woman, who has left no children, brothers or sisters, and is survived only by her husband, mother, and father. The husband inherits half the property, while the mother inherits 1/3, and the father the remaining 1/6. In this particular case, the mother inherits a share that is double that of the father. It is true that a general rule, in most cases, the female inherits a share that is half that of the male. For instance, in the following cases, daughter inherits half of what the son inherits. Wife inherits 1/8 and husband 1/4 if the deceased has no children. Wife inherits 1/4 and husband 1/2 if the deceased has children. If the deceased has no ascendant or descendant, the sister inherits a share that is half that of the brother. In Islam, a woman has no financial obligation and the economical responsibility lies on the shoulders of the man. Before a woman is married, it is the duty of the father or brother to look after the lodging, boarding, clothing, and other financial requirements of the woman. After she is married, it is the duty of the husband or the son. Islam holds the man financially responsible for fulfilling the needs of his family. In order to be able to fulfill the responsibility, the man gets double the share of the inheritance. For example, if a man dies leaving 150,000 pounds for the children, i.e., one son and one daughter, the son inherits 100,000 pounds and the daughter 50,000 pounds. Out of the 100,000 which the son inherits as his duty towards his family, he may have to spend on them almost the entire amount, or say about 80,000, and thus he has a small percentage of inheritance, say about 20,000 left for himself. On the other hand, the daughter who inherits 50,000 is not bound to spend a single penny on anybody. She can keep the entire amount for herself. Would you prefer inheriting 100,000 pounds and spending 80,000 from it, or inheriting 50,000 pounds and having the entire amount to yourself? Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.